Welcome to A Moment of Zen. Time to sit back and relax as model, actress, mentor, and supermom Zen Sams takes you on a sexy and wild ride, covering the latest in film, fashion, pop culture, cryptocurrency, fintech, cannabis, and entertainment from the millennial mom's perspective. Here's your host, Zen Sams.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to episode 236. That's right, we're celebrating 6 years on the air. Here's to another exciting episode. It's always a pleasure to spend my time with you on the airwaves. Thank you for tuning in every Saturday night and engaging with me on Instagram and social media. That truly makes it all worthwhile. Please continue to follow me at Zen Sams. That's Zen with an X, not a Z. XENSAMS. And remember, all episodes of A Moment of Zen are available on our YouTube channel Sundays at 2 p.m. via digital streaming. And you can also check us out on Your Home TV platform directly on our channel at mox.yourhometv.com. Alongside our experts on the microphone, we cover film, fashion, pop culture, cryptocurrency, cannabis, fintech, and health, and everything in between from the millennial mom's perspective. Today, we have an incredible lineup of conversations that fuel the body, the mind, and the heart. In the Clean Collective segment brought to you by Society Brands, we're featuring Michael Sirpilla, co-founder and CEO of Society Brands. We're going to dive into scaling the wellness movement, how Society Brands champions founders and clean living. In the Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift, today we're featuring Eve Hudon. She's the owner of Espace Skins in Montreal, one of Canada's top clinics in Quebec. She's going to join me today to chat about trending treatments, personalized care, and how investing in proper skincare helps you glow not just on the outside, but also feel your best on the inside. In today's We Play It Forward series, we're spotlighting a rare and devastating disease, Sanfilippo Syndrome, sometimes referred to as childhood Alzheimer's. We're shedding light on this devastating reality, and joining us is Carrie Fowler, an influencer, medical mama, author, and fierce advocate for her daughter Haidyn, who is courageously battling Sanfilippo Syndrome. In our Brain Blueprint Express segment brought to you by the Melillo Centers, Sevda Arslan, a nervous system practitioner and director of peaceful programs based in Australia, shares the remarkable transformations she's seen through the Melillo method, with children going from nonverbal to verbal and finally finding space and relaxing their nervous systems. In our Health Tip of the Week brought to you by Sirpilla, today we bring you an important reminder for your skin despite the cool fall temps. That UV exposure still remains strong. Tune in to the tips we're about to share with you. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Michael Sirpilla, co-founder and CEO of Society Brands, diving into scaling the wellness movement. You're listening to A Moment of Zen. I'm your host, Zen Sams. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
The Kelly Williams Show is brought to you by Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events. Tune in and turn on your happy. Kelly Williams is full of energy and incredible guests. Watch her anytime, free programming on Your Home TV network, and do follow her on social media for a chance to win monthly prizes. Check out The Kelly Williams Show on yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to the Clean Collective segment brought to you by Society Brands. Today, we're diving into scaling the wellness movement, how Society Brands champions founders and clean living. Consider this. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, Americans are exposed to over 80,000 chemicals in their environment, with less than 10% tested for safety. And at the same time, the global clean beauty and wellness market is on fire, projected to reach $16 billion by 2027, growing at nearly double the rate of conventional beauty products. Consumers are speaking loud and clear. They want products free of toxins, transparency from brands, and values that align with wellness. And that's exactly where Society Brands comes in, uniting clean, toxin-free companies under one powerful platform and helping founders scale without compromising their mission. Our guest today, Michael Sirpilla, co-founder and CEO of Society Brands, has built and scaled companies from the ground up, including taking a health management business from zero to 150 million in revenue in just 5 years. Under his leadership, Society Brands has raised over $200 million to acquire and grow e-commerce brands, creating a collective that is reshaping how toxin-free living reaches the world. Welcoming now to the show is the incredible Michael Sirpilla. Welcome, superstar.
Zen, thanks so much for having me on. I'm excited to be here today.
All right, let's dive in. So why 100% toxin-free, right? Nielsen IQ reports that 78% of consumers now prioritize wellness in their buying decisions, and nearly 70% actively seek quote-unquote clean labels on products. Yet the US still only bans 11 cosmetic ingredients compared to over 1,600 in the European community. So why did Society Brands choose to focus entirely on toxin-free living, and why is this mission so critical right now?
Well, first off, let me back up. It hasn't always been the case. Society Brands several years ago was a little bit more broad from a category perspective. We started off on Amazon-centric brands, category agnostic, anywhere from wobble chairs to kilts and a number of different things. And by the way, love those products. I think that they serve a great purpose. But 2 years ago, I really started thinking, like, who do we want to be when we grow up as an organization? What difference do we want to make? And one of my favorite quotes is from Martin Luther King. And he said, "A man who's not willing to die for something isn't fit to live." We felt that clean and toxin-free in, on, and around your body was the movement that we could really spearhead going forward. So that's what we did. We ended up pivoting a couple years ago and started acquiring incredible health and wellness and clean beauty, et cetera, brands that we feel could make a huge difference in the world. Yeah. It's exciting to feel like you're actually part of something that's bigger than yourself. And me as the CEO and co-founder of the company, I'm excited to say that I wake up every single day, excited to go to work. I have 3 kids, and hopefully when they see their father go to work every single day, what I always say is I'm trying to make a difference in the world. Aww. We serve 4 million consumers every single year, and I feel like we do a good thing.
Well, that's a powerful perspective. And it's not about following the market, right? It's about raising the standard. And that's what you're doing. So you're definitely headed in that right direction. So let's talk about what qualities do you look for in founders in general when we talk about it? Because behind every meaningful brand is a founder like you with a story. And research from Startup Genome shows that founder dynamics are among the top 3 factors that determine a startup's success or failure. And at Society Brands, you're essentially betting on people just as much as products. So what qualities do you look for in a founder before you bring them into your ecosystem?
So one thing that we look for is, do they want to be a team player? Because there's some entrepreneurs that really just want to do their own thing. They want to be a lone wolf, and there's genuinely nothing wrong with that. But if somebody's going to join the society, they need to be part of something that's bigger than themselves. That's actually one of our core values, is society committed. We want founders that want to be part of the bigger vision as to what we're building as an organization. The second thing is resilience. Entrepreneurship is not easy, but if somebody is resilient and willing to just go through a great deal of pain, and in entrepreneurship, you deal with pain. Pain actually comes first, and then success comes second. Yeah. It's not the other way around. If somebody's looking to just make a quick buck, build a brand, and not realize that, hey, there's other levels that they need to get to in order to experience success, and you're on that next level, you're going to, again, experience pain over and over again. Those resilient founders, I would say, is something that we really look for.
Exactly. You said it. It's also about shared purpose and long-term alignment, not just that short-term profit. And that starts with exactly the founders too. So let's chat about how the model helps founders scale. So many founders in the clean beauty and wellness space start with incredible passion, but plateau because they lack capital, distribution, or data-driven insights. In fact, a 2023 Shopify report showed that 45% of small wellness brands cite scaling as their biggest barrier to survival. So how does the Society Brands model specifically help these founders scale while still staying true to their mission?
So I'd say a lot of it has to do with marketing. So the way that most direct consumer brands scale is through performance marketing, primarily through Google and Meta. And there's only so much of an audience that you have in those networks. Now, obviously it's vast, but as a brand grows from 0 to 5 million to 10 million to 20 million, or even 30 or $40 million of revenue, you eventually hit this glass ceiling to where that typical direct response marketing isn't going to work long term. It's not going to take you again to that next level. As I mentioned previously, resilience. You need to actually start doing top of funnel marketing, brand marketing, much like what we do here with Zen and iHeart. It's more top of funnel. It's brand awareness, knowing who Society Brands is, know who our collective portfolio companies are. Those are the type of initiatives that brands need to do eventually. So oftentimes when founders come to us, they've gotten to a place to where they've scaled their direct response marketing to a place that they're still seeing growth, but it's starting to plateau, and they need to partner with a company like Society to really truly build a brand that could be omnipresent. That's something that when you actually know of that brand, not just simply know the ads. And the interesting thing is with brand marketing over time is you get to a place to where your customer acquisition cost decreases. That's something that oftentimes happens when brands partner with Society. So that's a huge aspect. Another thing is product development. Oftentimes a founder just is the sole product. They're the CEO. They're everything to their business. And then they're oftentimes the product development officer as well. We have a product development team. We have operations, logistics, a lot of the noise and minutia that brand founders go through on a daily basis. We take over. We offer a shared service model that can help them really focus on their vision for their brand. So instead of focusing on everything, they could focus on the core priorities for their business.
Now, building and maintaining consumer trust is a big one. So how do you make sure that when these brands scale under Society, they maintain transparency and credibility with consumers?
Yeah. So one thing is we do a lot of efficacy testing. Like, we believe that it's important on what you put into your body and on your body and around your body, hence our slogan, in, on, around. But so one thing is doing a ton of efficacy testing. And number two, we partner with celebrities, influencers, creators that already have a strong presence online that resonate with this mission as well. And they're careful as to what they put in front of their listeners. Obviously, we're talking to Zen Sams here. She is, have no doubt that you thoroughly vet who you're bringing in front of your audience. Those are the types of partners that we bring to the table. And we love that high standard that people like Zen has before bringing somebody in front of your audience. And that's another aspect that we do is find partners that already have a trusted audience like Zen has and already has credibility in the health and wellness and clean movement space.
Exactly. Trust is fragile, right? Michael, you said it, and it has to be protected at every stage of growth. And I love that you guys keep that at the forefront of your mission. So let's chat about the vision ahead. You're not just scaling individual brands, you're building a collective, right? And of course, when you look at the reviews, Harvard Business notes that platform-based models scale faster and more sustainably than traditional companies because they create shared resources and data loops. So what's your long-term vision for Society Brands in 5 years? How do you see your company shaping the future of toxic-free wellness?
So it's really a few things. So number one, we want to become the undisputed platform for toxin-free functional health, personal care products in, on, and around your body. So that's number one. The second thing is we want to have a household of portfolio of 30 plus mission-driven brands that consumers trust as the default for their clean choice. We want them to go to us first, not go search Google first and then find us. That's a key differentiator. The third thing is we want to be able to establish a unified Society standard of ingredients. When people see the Society Brands logo, and you could actually see like our O is kind of like turned in kind of a funky way, we want that to be something when somebody sees that O, they know that it stands for the highest quality and highest efficacy. The second thing is use scale to make clean affordable, because candidly right now, as it sits today, I don't know that clean is affordable to everybody. We want it to be affordable to everybody.
Yeah. So entrepreneurship in wellness is exploding, right? So for founders listening right now who dream of building something lasting or maybe even joining Society Brands one day, what advice would you give them?
Just focus on the customer and focus on a unique value proposition that you could bring to the marketplace. It's backwards when you focus on profit first. Focus on purpose first, profit second. It's not that profit is not important, but you will not get the profit if you don't focus on the purpose. Again, you need to have something that is so meaningful that moves you in a way that it's compelling for you to sell your product. If you don't have that compelling vision, and if you don't know what your unique value proposition is as an entrepreneur, as a brand, as a company, as a father, right? Like I believe in, I go back to my kids just for a second. I think of what we're doing at Society Brands on like, how am I being a role model to my children? And would I want them to be doing something like what I'm doing today? And I could answer without a shadow of a doubt that answer is yes. So being able to have something that you're so excited about, it's easy to get people to follow you on that journey as an entrepreneur if you are focused on that. Then the second thing that I would say is build out an incredible team that is smarter than yourself. If you as the entrepreneur, if you're the smartest person in every single room that you go in, then you become the bottleneck. Maybe not initially, maybe not at 5 million of revenue or 10 million of revenue, whatever it is, but eventually you will reach a ceiling because you are limiting yourself. Oftentimes entrepreneurs do that because of ego. Sometimes they do that because of insecurity, but what they need to do is just set that aside and say, hey, I'm going to be so smart that I'm going to have other people in the room that are smarter than me. And they're going to align on the vision that I'm setting for the company. And they're going to join me on this journey. And I'm going to listen and hear them for the thoughts that they have. I mean, at Society Brands, we have somewhere around 200 employees. And if it was just Michael Sirpilla, we would be nowhere as an organization. It's really about the collective and building a team and having a scalable infrastructure.
That's such practical wisdom. It's about passion, but also about preparation and resilience. And I'm honored to be part of your team after hearing you speak.
Thank you. Thank you. And by the way, Zen, really, really do appreciate everything that you're doing. I watch your podcast, watch what you've done with Sean and Amanda and others as well. Really, really appreciate it.
Michael, this has been an incredibly insightful conversation. I thank you. I reciprocate back everything that you said in terms of the team, the powerful message that we're building here at Society Brands, the mission, the focus, but it's truly about the team and great people. So thank you for this conversation.
Thank you.
So for our listeners and viewers out there, if you want to learn more, you can visit societybrands.com and follow along on their journey to scale toxin-free living. This is the Clean Collective segment brought to you by Society Brands, because what goes on and around your body should be as safe as what goes in it. To follow them, check them out on the gram at society_brands_ and at michael.sirpilla. You can also find him on LinkedIn, where he is most active. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Cleanomic. Cleanomic zip bags are certified compostable. They break down into nutrient-rich fertilizer that nourishes the earth. They're BPA-free, so no harmful chemicals leak into your food. Available in snack, sandwich, quart, and gallon sizes. They ship straight to your door. No more store runs. Plus, get free trash bags for life with the subscription. Protect your food and health from hidden microplastic particles by heading to cleanomic.com today. A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Westbridge Academy in Essex County, where students are seen, heard, and understood. Neurodiverse K through 12 students, many facing ADHD, anxiety, depression, or aggression, discover strength through connection. With compassionate educators, therapeutic support, and the latest technology, students can master academics and go further, exploring music production, financial and automotive literacy, social media awareness, and wellness. Visit westbridgeacademy.org to learn more.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to the Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift. Today in the Expert on the Microphone series, we're featuring Eve Hudon. She's the owner of Espace Skins in Montreal, one of Canada's top clinics in Quebec. For over 15 years, her medical aesthetic clinic has welcomed high-profile and celebrity clients, offering a full range of treatments from skin tightening to rejuvenation to rehydration and so much more, all designed to give your skin and body the care they deserve. She's going to join me today to chat about trending treatments, personalized care, and how investing in proper skincare helps you glow, not just on the outside, but also feel your best on the inside. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you very much. Hello.
So excited to have you. So you've been immersed in the skincare and medical aesthetics world for over 15 years. And during that time, both patient preferences and technologies have shifted drastically, and they continue to evolve. So as the owner of a top medical aesthetics clinic in Montreal, Canada, one of the top cities everybody comes to, it's important to keep your finger on the pulse and stay up to date with both these areas. So how have you seen the field evolve in terms of patient preferences? And how have the products and treatments you've chosen to offer reflect or even anticipated this evolution?
In Montreal, for us, it's like a mix of both is really important. It's not only the medical, and it's not only, for example, laser, but it's a mix of facials, peeling, and good skincare at home that we saw through the years that was really, really important. And this is where first the experience is amazing for clients because they just don't do laser. They come and they can relax and have an experience. But at the same time, when we mix both, when we mix like facial with laser or facial with a skincare and everything, I think for me, we saw the best result on them.
And what are some of the top skin concerns, whether on the face or body, that your clients are looking to address?
For us, we have body, but we're well known in Montreal for face. For us, we treat mostly we have like a specialty in rosacea, inflammation, and acne.
Wow. Okay. So you cover those main
Yes.
top three concerns that most people are coming and complaining about. And it makes a lot of sense because when you look at the surveys, they show that over 60% of people cite uneven skin tone, fine lines, or sagging as their biggest confidence drainers. So what they're coming in complaining about clearly is playing into what you need to start fixing from within. Now let's bring CO2 Lift into the picture. So both the CO2 Lift Pro treatment and mousse have become very popular in medical aesthetics, two products I know you offer at your clinic. And while CO2 Lift has impressive monotherapy benefits, they also are popularly used in conjunction with other treatments. So I'd love to know, how do you incorporate CO2 Lift to complement or even enhance the results of other treatments you offer? And what specific benefits do your clients experience?
Yeah. People come at the clinic, they have a facial, and through the facial, we put the mask and we enhance we do infusion by oxygen, which we infuse, and then we put the mask over it for 45 minutes. And then through the 45 minutes, they have like a really big massage. We infuse, the neck and here. So it's like an experience. So at the end, when they go out, it's really, they are repulped, hydrate, less inflamed. And at the same time, they have an experience.
Yeah.
This is one way we sell it. The other way is that we do like laser peeling, micro needling, like more medical treatment. And then at the end, we put the mask and they leave the clinic with it. So they take it out.
It's a treatment, right? Because I know it's in the form of a mask, but this is very much, for those listening, carboxytherapy, where you get that neoangiogenesis, that increased hydration statistically by 117% per treatment, per application, per use. So we are really seeing that skin come alive again and regenerate, and you really see it in real time.
Well, this is the reason why we decided to have it at the clinic, because we saw the result instantly. And it's pretty rare, when you have skincare where you see results right away.
So I know you all also use CO2 lift for patients who struggle with rosacea. Can you share a bit about that?
We have the after treatment, but we have the skincare at home too. So people that has rosacea, like me, I'm the kind of, my type of skin is like that. To do the cure at home, 3 masks, every, I would say 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It depends. It's amazing. You see a difference in your, plus it enhance the skincare that you have at home.
Yes, it's another modality to combo therapy with whatever your skincare routine is. And I love that, especially considering when you talk about rosacea, that affects an estimated 16 million Americans, probably even more so Canadians. And yet so many people still don't know solutions that exist. So I love that you're using this carboxytherapy treatment in the form of aiding and helping really mend those unwanted skincare issues that come with rosacea. Now, we could talk all day about popular treatments, but it's important to remember that all skin is different and no treatment plan is a one size fits all. This is where individualized care truly makes a difference. So, Eve, can you walk us through how you and your team create personalized treatment plans for each client to ensure that optimal and long-lasting results? And how do factors like lifestyle and skin type and specific concerns influence the treatments that you recommend?
It's exactly, you just said it, right? When people come at the clinic, they most of the time they want something fast. They want to change fast, but that's not the way it works, right? We always, yes, change needs to be made. For example, when you have acne or you have rosacea, you're doing always hot yoga. I give you an example. That's things that we will say to the client, which some things needs to be changed. When you have melasma, if you don't protect yourself, some things needs to be changed. So the client needs to have his own routine at home, which is really important. So we have that personal consultation where we explain what will be the steps. Right? And it's important that they follow it. If they don't, it's like investing for nothing, right? They have a responsibility at home with their skincare that we will provide, either if it's for acne or rosacea, melasma, thin lines, wrinkle, And in the clinic, when they come, we take time with them. Of course, we have consultation and we adjust. Each treatment is adjust to the type of skin and the type of human and lifestyle they have, because we're so different, right? So we adapt and we adjust, and we do, for us, my esthetician, they have mostly like personal account on Instagram and everything, and we do follow-ups with the clients, very personalized follow-up. We found out that's the way it works, right? We make sure that they do their routine. We ask questions: is everything is good? Do they have like effect after the treatment, good or bad? Then we adjust. The same thing with the skincare, and this is how we have a good result, making like a really close follow up with the client.
Right. I really appreciate that. And going one step further, while professional treatments can do a lot, maintaining that healthy, radiant skin also depends on what you said, what clients do at home. So in your expert opinion, how important is a consistent at-home skincare routine in achieving and sustaining the results of in-office treatments? And are there any practices or products that you recommend to help clients care for their skin between visits?
50%. of the job is at home with the skincare routine. It doesn't need to be like a really long skincare because we don't have all the same, demands with our skin. But we need to have the basic, like a good cleanser, a good sunblock, a good hydration. And then after, when you want to address things or you're getting older, then a good vitamin C, all those things are important, but you go through the years or you go through what you're looking for. But I think for the basic, it's really important to have the good skincare. Yeah.
Yes, of course. I mean, listen, it all starts with, at home, like you said. I've seen reports that patients who stick to a professional grade home routine actually extend the results of in-office treatments by 30 to 40%. So, like you said at the beginning, if you're going to invest and not do the homework and the
Yeah,
follow-up, then you might as well throw good money after bad, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, let's touch on your on your skincare philosophy. So you often describe the treatments at your clinic as giving the skin and body the care they deserve. So can you talk about why this mindset is so important in your opinion? How does taking care of the skin contribute not just to looking better, but to feeling better? And why should people prioritize investing in proper skincare?
Well, we saw so many good stories at the clinic since the past 15 years. People come, they have acne, and they tell us, like, I never went out from my house without makeup, like, never. And then after 1 year, because it's a process, we don't do this in 2 months. For example, somebody that has 10 years of acne. Well, they come after 1 year, they don't have any acne anymore. They control it at home and everything. And they say, oh my God, it changed my life. So instead of going, for example, taking medication, antibiotic or anything, we do the process is longer, but we change the perception of the person they have of them,
Right.
And this is, I think for us, that is in the skincare industry where sometimes it's very, beauty and everything, to have those kind of change. Even with hair removal, when we do laser, women that have hair up her lip or on their chin, it makes a big difference on their confidence. And for me, this is why I love to do what I do.
Wow, beautifully said. And honestly, it's backed by science. Studies show people who
Yeah,
feel good about their skin report up to 35% higher overall quality of life. That
yeah.
the science doesn't lie. Well, we are at the end of our date, my dear Eve. Thank you so much for coming on. I learned a lot about you and your business. And when I come to Montreal, I will be visiting you.
Exactly. Come and see us, please.
That was our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift. And that was the incredible Eve Hudon, the owner of Espace Skins in Montreal, one of Canada's top clinics in Quebec. You can check them out online at skinsmontreal.com and on the gram at Espace Skins Montreal. You're listening to A Moment of Zen. I'm your host, Zen Sams. We'll be right back after this.
New York, are you ready to carboxify the city? Meet CO2 Lift, the breakthrough topical carboxy therapy trusted worldwide by surgeons, estheticians, and skin enthusiasts alike. This isn't just another mask. It's an oxygenating treatment that hydrates deeply, stimulates collagen, and helps skin recover and glow like never before. And now, for the very first time, we're bringing it straight to you. The CO2 Lift pop-up store is opening later this month in New York City. Step inside, discover the science, and see why professionals everywhere rely on CO2 Lift to elevate skin health. You'll get education, demos, and a chance to experience the treatment that's creating a whole new category in skincare. So whether you're in the industry or just love taking your glow seriously, this is your invitation. Join us at the CO2 Lift pop-up store and help us carboxify the city together. The countdown to glow starts now. Follow CO2 Lift on Instagram at CO2 Lift to learn more.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut.
Discover the refreshing taste of 100% pure coconut water that actually tastes great. Naturally sweet with no artificial flavors or added sugar. It's packed with electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout your day. And with 10% of profits going to charity, every sip makes a difference. Pure taste, pure goodness. Experience nature's Gatorade. Visit Once Upon a Coconut or naturesgatorade.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. In our health tip of the week, brought to you by Sirpilla, today we bring you an important reminder for your skin. Even though fall may feel cooler, the UV exposure still remains strong, especially during outdoor activities like hiking, apple picking, or late-season beach days. Continue to wear protective clothing and reapply sun protection if you'll be outside for extended periods. Don't be fooled by overcast skies. UV rays penetrate clouds and still affect your skin. Staying mindful of sun safety year-round helps prevent premature aging and protects against long-term skin damage. That was our health tip of the week, brought to you by Sirpilla. Be sure to check them out online at Sirpilla.com and on the gram at Sirpilla. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Sirpilla. If skin discoloration is making it hard to find your Zen, Sirpilla can help. Stubborn pigmentation, dark spots, and uneven skin tone concerns go beyond the surface, affecting both confidence and self-expression. In a sea of skincare choices, Sirpilla stands apart. Backed by science and trusted by dermatologists worldwide, Sirpilla is powered by the advanced cysteamine isobonic amide complex, delivering clinically proven results and effectively targeting mild to persistent discoloration while restoring the skin's natural glow. Unlike harsh treatments, Sirpilla is formulated for all skin types, including sensitive areas, ensuring visible improvements without irritation. Whether pigmentation is a new concern or a long-standing struggle, Sirpilla works in harmony with the skin to bring balance, clarity, and renewed confidence. Sirpilla is science-driven skincare for confidence that shines. Find your skin zen and restore your glow with Sirpilla today by heading to Sirpilla.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. In today's We Play It Forward series, we're spotlighting a rare and devastating disease, Sanfilippo Syndrome, sometimes referred to as childhood Alzheimer's. This genetic disorder affects fewer than 5,000 children in the United States, yet its impact is staggering. Children who appear perfectly healthy at birth begin to lose speech, mobility, and memory, with most only living into their teenage years. As one researcher put it, Sanfilippo is like Alzheimer's in children, only it moves much faster. Joining us today is Carrie Fowler. She's an influencer, a medical mama, an author, and a fierce advocate for her daughter Haidyn, who is courageously battling Sanfilippo. With over 500,000 followers, Carrie has turned her heartbreak into advocacy, giving Haidyn a voice and rallying for funding to find a cure. Through her work, Carrie brings hope, connection, and honesty to conversations about rare diseases, genetics, caregiving, grief, and resilience. She's joining us right now. Welcome to the show, superstar.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's get into some of these facts. Sanfilippo affects about 1 in 70,000 births, but because symptoms mimic autism or developmental delays, many families spend years searching for answers. So, Carrie, can you walk us through Haidyn's journey to diagnosis? How long did it take to get real answers? And what do you wish more parents and doctors knew about those early warning signs?
So Haidyn was born seemingly healthy. She passed all pre- and postnatal screenings. Sanfilippo syndrome was not tested for at the time of her birth. Between the ages of 2 to 3 is when we began to notice some developmental delays, like a speech delay, and we wondered how much she was fully understanding and comprehending. But she was very different from my oldest child that was always ahead of her age group. So we didn't really put too much emphasis on comparing the two because every child is different. And she had passed all of her milestones the first couple years up until 2 to 3 with flying colors. Aside from it took her a little bit longer to walk because she had a tight Achilles tendon, a muscle contracture. And that was one of the first key signs of Sanfilippo syndrome. But we did not know, and doctors did not know either. She had chronic ear infections, sinus infections. Again, something many children deal with regularly despite any genetic conditions. But by age 3, due to the developmental delays, we had her tested and she was diagnosed with autism. And We put her in therapies. She did make some progress between physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy between ages 3 to 5. But by age 5, she was regressing majorly again. A lot of the progress we had made was going backwards. She had a lot of fear. We began to notice what you would call sundowning episodes in an elderly patient with dementia. And we did not know what that was at the time, but that's what we were beginning to notice in her around age 5. And no longer sleeping, just all kinds of issues. And I kept searching for answers. It started with trying to understand more about autism, asking questions, watching every documentary, reading every book, talking to other autism parents, trying to understand my child more, to some way I came across genetic screening, and turns out that she had Sanfilippo syndrome.
Yeah. I mean, your story is a very powerful reminder that awareness saves lives. You know, as Maya Angelou once said, when you know better, you do better. So the more we know, the faster we can help families. And really, it's awareness and it's research, because once you know you carry that mutation, you will make different choices.
Yes.
And the human face of the disease is something I really want to talk about, because once Sanfilippo parent described it as like watching your child fade away in slow motion. And that's a heartbreaking reality families face every day. How has Sanfilippo affected Haidyn's daily life today? And what moments do you cherish most as you navigate this journey with her?
Yes, by age 6, she lost her ability to talk. And now she is 10 and she can no longer walk. She has a feeding tube. She can have very soft foods by mouth on a good day when she is handling it well and can swallow safely. Or, she still loves sweet tea, but she really depends on us for everything now. She requires 24/7 care and from a caregiver to do everything for her. And it is very hard to watch your child, they start to blossom and they start to have a little personality. I mean, she was so funny and a little mean. She was a little bit of a mean toddler, but she was so funny, and she just had this big personality. We always say she was like a bull in a china shop. She was just aggressive, but in the best way. She was just loud and rambunctious and all of that. And to
Beautiful
see
spirit.
that, she really was. She was a little free spirit. And to see all of that slowly be taken away is heartbreaking. I mean, there's no pretty way to talk about it. But at the end of the day, I also want to put an emphasis on the fact that she is still in there. She still smiles. She still laughs. She still lights up when me or her dad or her sister walk in the room. She's happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, because it's those small, beautiful moments that you're describing, the laughter, the cuddles, that remind us of the power of love, even in the darkest times. Now, Sanfilippo doesn't just affect the child, it touches the entire family. I mean, siblings often struggle with fear, confusion, and even the burden of understanding something so rare. So how has Haidyn's diagnosis impacted your older daughter and your family dynamic? And how do you explain this disease to her in a way that she can understand, or do you not?
Fortunately, my oldest was in middle school when Haidyn was diagnosed, and she was very wise already for her age, and I was able to just tell her the truth. Which is hard in itself, to come to your other child and say, your sibling has been diagnosed with this disease and this is what this means, and that there is no cure. It is terminal. She's going to pass at a younger age than she should.
Yeah.
But it definitely impacts her. I mean, we all struggle with anxiety now. We all struggle with ways that grief impacts our life, and nobody prepares you for that, because it impacts every single person completely different. The way it affects her, myself, or my husband can all show up in different ways. And we've all had to do a lot of work to recognize that and to support each other in the process.
Yeah. Yeah. That perspective is so raw and real. It reminds us that behind every diagnosis is a whole family carrying the weight. And as the proverb says, when you support one child, you strengthen an entire village, right? So
Yes.
now let's talk about the hard part, financially and emotionally. Let's talk about those strains. So the average lifetime cost of the average lifetime cost of care for a child with Sanfilippo can reach hundreds of thousands of dollars, not including experimental therapies or clinical trial travel, right? Families face impossible choices between caregiving, fundraising, and simply surviving the emotional toll. So what is the biggest stressor right now? Financial, emotional, or both? And what kind of help do families like yours most urgently need?
I would say that varies family to family. For us, it's a mixture of both financial and emotional. I know a bunch of families in the Sanfilippo community, and I can tell you that every single one faces different aspects of what they need. But for us, it is both financial and emotional because it is hard to discuss with others just how big the emotional toll is on your family because there is no light way to talk about it, even if you're not trying to sound negative or depressing, but it is a hard topic to discuss. And I can tell that it makes people uncomfortable, and I don't judge them for that. It is an uncomfortable topic, but this has also led our family to have to discuss a lot of uncomfortable topics that most people would say you shouldn't have to think about or talk about. And we have had to face them, but financially, yes, as well, we know with a lot of things with America, the healthcare system can be difficult. Clinical trials can be hard to come by, treatment options, all of these things, therapies. It's a lot. Not only is it costly, it is overwhelming mentally, and that ties into the emotional aspect. The financial aspect ends up draining you emotionally trying to keep up with all of it. I hope that makes sense.
No, it does. I mean,
it's kind of like a spider web, and I feel like financially, mentally, emotionally, all of it is webbed together.
You're 100% right. And it's unthinkable that families already fighting for their child's life have to also fight for resources. And as you said, no family should walk this journey alone. Now, with your large social media platform, you've bravely faced trolls, ignorance, and cruel misconceptions, yet your advocacy has educated thousands about this disease. What are the biggest stigmas or misconceptions about Sanfilippo that you want to shatter once and for all?
I would say the idea that others have that bothers myself and my husband the most is that a child like Haidyn, who has a neurodegenerative disease, and yes, her brain is being damaged every day because of it, her entire body is this this thought process that she does not feel or she does not understand or that she is not aware of her surroundings or that she does not care about things. She may not understand things like you and I. She may not understand the material world or I'm just trying to think of like politics or different opinions, anything that separates us and divides us. She may not understand all of these things, but she is very aware of energy. I mean, if you come in the room and you are in a bad mood and you are putting off negative energy, I can watch her give you signs to get out of her bubble. I mean, she does it to me. If I'm in a place where I'm struggling that day, she can look at me with her eyes and it's like she's telling me, don't bring that over here, She's very aware of what's going on around her.
She's here, she's alive. I get to still hug her and see her, and she's happy and she's not in pain, and everything is controlled. And if we can just have more time for a cure, for an advancement by another 10 years, you would take that.
Yes.
You would take it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And while there is no cure yet, there are promising clinical trials underway, proof that progress is possible with enough awareness and funding, and every donation brings us closer to a breakthrough. So,
Yes.
Carrie, what gives you hope today, and how can our listeners rally behind your family in the fight to find a cure?
The biggest area I have hope in is to see the science, to see the research, and that there are promising treatments that could be available to help children like mine. Even if a cure would not save Haidyn at this point, knowing that we are closer than we were when Haidyn was diagnosed means everything to me. And also the education that is out there. When I started this 5 years ago, shortly after Haidyn was diagnosed, there was very little information out there other than from other Sanfilippo families. And now so many people and medical professionals are at least familiar with the syndrome because of the power of social media and advocacy. And other children have been diagnosed through Haidyn's story, and now these parents are also advocating, or many of them are. And
That's beautiful. You're doing God's work. Really, you are.
thank you.
Yeah. Well, we are at the end, my dear. Thank you so much for coming on. This is such a moving, incredible, inspiring segment. I'm sending you nothing but love. Big hugs and kisses to Haidyn and to your entire family. You are such a trailblazer. I am so proud of you, and I'm honored that you came back on today.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me, and hopefully I'll be back in the future.
That was today's We Play It Forward segment featuring Carrie Fowler, advocate, author, and devoted mama to Haidyn, who is bravely battling Sanfilippo Syndrome. To learn more, to donate, and to join the fight, please visit. You can go to @Haidyn's Hope directly on the gram. And remember, when we play it forward, hope has a chance to grow. You could head directly to our foundation at WePlayItForwardFoundation.org. And you can check out Cure Sanfilippo at CureSanFilippoFoundation.org as well. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Tortora Promotions, specializing in white glove digital marketing, social media management, professional videography, and PR services. Based in New York City and partnering with hundreds of businesses nationwide, they deliver proven strategies that bring more customers through the door. If your old marketing methods aren't keeping up, Tortora Promotions can step in to help you stay ahead. Grow your brand and drive real results. Reach out today and follow them on Instagram at Tortora Promotions. Your business deserves it.
Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen. I'm your host, Zen Sams. In our Brain Blueprint Express segment brought to you by the Melillo Centers, Sevda Arslan, a nervous system practitioner and director of peaceful programs based in Australia, shares the remarkable transformations she's seen through the Melillo method.
I met Dr. Robert Melillo in November 2024. I have seen families, kids transform. The Melillo method's not just a method, it brings the soul back into the home. How do I know this? I work on the nervous system of mum, nervous system of child, and I reconnect to them. I rebond them. And the best way to understand what's happening in each brain is by understanding the brainstem. And through the Melillo method, I got to learn so much. I have seen transformation from nonverbal of just a child saying Baba on repeat to within 10 months say, Mummy, are you okay? Would you like some water? This is not just words going from nonverbal to verbal. This is a child learning empathy, learning facial expression, understanding concepts and the environment around them. I have seen children learn how to suppress their fight response and their reflexes to having a more reflective and pausing method to just respond to life. This is a breathtaking method, and it's for families that invest in their kids. The nervous system is a big deal, and as a practitioner, I am able to now understand what happened in the womb. What happened to that baby's left and right brain? How does that baby choosing one side of the boob affect their ability to speak and reflex and eat? These are all the answers that Dr. Robert Melillo gave to me in November 2024. And throughout this journey, I have seen so many kids go from nonverbal to verbal. I have seen children relax, take care and control of their nervous system. As a nervous system practitioner, and I help mums and kids bond, the best way to bond is understanding what's happening in your brain, what's happening in your child's brain. If you need to make change in your life, please do not have this as your last resort. Have it as your first resort.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
In business and in life, there's always an upside. Finding it is often the challenge. Having a mindset that looks for it and embraces problems as opportunities is the key to thriving. Finding the Upside with Maria de Lorenzis Reyes explores the transformative power of optimism, featuring visionary business owners, influential leaders, and inspiring everyday people. Tune in and see how they navigate changing conditions with optimism and innovation. Watch the special series One Tough Chick, highlighting resilient and powerful women, streaming on yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Thanks for tuning in to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. Remember to join me right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, every Saturday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Or you could head to 710WOR.iHeart.com/A Moment of Zen. And also remember that we're live on Traverse TV Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern. YouTube, we upload Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern. And all episodes of A Moment of Zen are now available on Your Home TV streaming platform. You could head directly to mox.yourhometv.com. Thank you for listening to A Moment of Zen. It's been an absolute pleasure being your host. Thanks again to all of our sponsors that continue to make this show possible. And remember that happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it. We'll be back next week.